We live in an age where there are millions of ways to serve and you're never trapped into one endeavor. Hi, my name is Leah Chantel. Welcome back to my channel. And today I'm going to talk to you about a life lesson that I learned in my 20s. It's a very common myth, and that is you have to stay in your job for a certain number of years, or another alternative, you have to stay at the current place where you're currently worshiping, depending on what religion or faith you have. Or maybe it could be just another community group where they're saying you have to stay here in order to get the benefits of the group. So this is like a very old-fashioned mindset that existed before the age of the internet, where it was assumed if you didn't go to your local church, then you weren't going to learn moral values because there's no other place to go learn them. Or you have to go to that job that you got when you just got fresh out of school because you don't know what's out there in the next city or what opportunities are looming. And of course, even back then, sometimes people figured it out and they did relocate. But I just want to point out in this day and age that that myth is definitely no longer true, and you can relocate at any time or change things up in your life at any time that you need to. Now, of course, there's virtue in staying in one place, in staying in one workplace, or staying in one faith, or staying in one relationship. I don't want to downplay that. I think commitment is a good thing, and to try to stick with it is a good thing. But if you're suffering too much, if people are really treating you badly in your community, in your faith, or at your workplace, we live in the age of the internet. The only thing that's really stopping you is low self-esteem from going and looking for a new place where you feel comfortable and respected and loved for who you authentically are. And so I just want to bust this myth that you have to stay in one place. I think what is true is it's good. It can be good to stick it out sometimes because you learn things. You learn perseverance, you learn self-discipline, those kinds of things. So it can be a good thing. You don't want to give up too quickly on something when it's uncomfortable. But if things are turning abusive, regardless if it's in your community, your faith, and your workplace, and I've seen it happen in multiple places to multiple different types of people. Like I used to be a manager, for example, at a library, and one of my employees, who was my subordinate, I'm not going to say where this was, I don't want to specify, but she just didn't get treated right in her town. She didn't get treated right at her workplace. She didn't get treated right at her church. And I just kind of asked her, like, what's stopping you? There are all these other communities that you can join. There are all these other cities. You don't have to stay in a place where people are disrespecting you. And if that means getting up and moving to another city, which sometimes it does, if you're in a small town and, there aren't a lot of options around, like a lot of other employers or places to go in your spare time, then that is completely a worthwhile endeavor, which will improve the quality of your life, and people should seriously consider it. Now, having said that, if you're somebody who doesn't see things through, who gives up very quickly when things get hard, it can be valuable to stay for a while. And I do recommend that too. I mean, that is the more traditional advice on resumes. Like if you stay 2 years or more in a position, you look committed. I think it just depends how bad the situation is. It's good to try to stay committed as long as you can. And if you've got a good situation, then that's amazing and you should stay and work that good relationship as long as possible. But if you're really suffering and people are giving you a hard time, there's no shame in leaving. Like there's no problem in that. And there are so many different options. For example, in your spare time, if you want to work on your character development, if you want to learn more about spirituality and being a good person, there are so many resources on the internet and so many good people you can connect with over Zoom calls. Like you're not limited to your local community by any means. And so if you don't feel like you're fairly treated in your local community when you're going out in your spare time, connect with others online. That's a great interim solution. If you're not prepared yet to make a big move, That's an excellent way to build positive relationships and to determine maybe where should you be moving to if you know there's a good community or a good group of people in another geographic location. That can help you make that big decision to take the leap to go somewhere new. I hope you all found this video helpful. It's something that I've thought about in my 20s when I'm learning how to stand on my own 2 feet in the workplace. Sometimes I had to go through changes in my life to find the right people, and it was completely worth it. I've met some amazing people in my life, and sometimes those connections can mean the difference between like a low salary job and a high salary job or starting your own business. That your connections can completely change your life. So don't underestimate that, and don't be scared to reach out to people and see how they're doing and ask them how their lives are going. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and everybody stay healthy and take care. Thank you for subscribing, and have a wonderful day. Bye now.